Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Do you know what the most potent tool to target and corner the BJP with in Assam could have been? The Citizenship Amendment Act. And yet, the opposition, particularly the Congress, has failed in using it effectively and in a sustained way to serve this desired purpose. Recently, former Congress President Rahul Gandhi visited Assam and along with prominent Congress leader from the state, Gaurav Gogoi, started this campaign called Let's Save Assam, or as they say in Assamese, Okhom Bason Ahok. But what has eventually happened is that it turns out that this is a textbook case of too little, too late, and too lacking. Now, I'll go on later to explain why CAA could have been such a powerful tool against the BJP, but let's first talk a little bit about the Congress. You know, the Congress should have raised this campaign much earlier. In fact, they should have raised this campaign way back in July 2016 when the bill was brought into the House first, which at that point had already become a point of contention in Assam. But it's been so many years. The Congress response to this new act, to this legislation, to this polarizing law has been intermittent, has been confused, and has been almost reluctant. In fact, what has not helped is the Congress's divergent stance on this issue. Different stand in the Brahmaputra Valley and a different stand in the Barak Valley, which, as we know, is dominated by those of Bengali origin. Now, why do I say the CAA is such a powerful tool? This conflict in Assam, which is an ethnic conflict, goes back decades. This has essentially been an ethnic versus non-ethnic conflict. The fault line has been agnostic of religion, has been agnostic of region. As much as the BJP may want to try and turn it into some sort of a Hindu-Muslim divide, it has essentially been an Assamese versus outsider divide, which means any outsider, irrespective of religion and irrespective of where the outsider, quote-unquote, outsider came from. So the resentment was as much against the Bangladeshis as it was against Bengali Hindus, against Marwaris, against Biharis, against Punjabis, and so on and so forth. In fact, in the late 80s and 90s, we saw how Assam erupted into violence because of this anti-outsider sentiment. So that has been at the crux of the anti-outsider movement in Assam. What happened was that wounds started healing because, you know, in today's world, there is no scope to be insular. But the National Register of Citizens, and when updating that began, the wounds were reopened. What aggravated those wounds was the CAA. Because what the CAA essentially does is says that, look, NRC is identifying these as outsiders, which is something that the Assamese people have wanted. But what the CAA does is uses that data to segregate these outsiders on the basis of religion. Essentially, all non-Muslim outsiders can get citizenship, which renders the entire movement in Assam ineffective, which renders the entire movement in Assam useless, because what the movement said was that we don't want any outsiders coming in and settling in and eating into our resources. So which is why the Citizenship Amendment Act is something that by bringing that in, the BJP was actually playing with fire in Assam, and it's not as if the BJP is not aware of it. And despite Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity in the state, or Himanta Biswa Sarma's understanding of the state grip over electoral political matters, this could have been used as an effective tool to counter the BJP, to whip up the sentiments of the ethnic Assamese against the BJP, and to corner the BJP and erode some of its base, because let's not forget, the BJP is not a party which has traditionally been strong in Assam. It's a party that has come up there very recently. And it's come up on the basis of a lot of other factors, not on the basis of ethnicity. And if ethnicity was an issue taken up by the Congress in a sustained fashion, it could have been a very important tool. It's not the Congress to blame alone. Of course, there are other parties like the Okhom Gana Parishad, which has had a very strange stand towards CAA. It broke ties with the BJP, which is an ally, over the issue, but then it came back to the BJP, which is very bizarre for a party, for someone like AGP, whose entire origin in politics is based on a very ethnic issue, on this anti-outsider sentiment. Congress, on the other hand, has played it very safe as far as this issue is concerned. There has been no sustained movement on this issue. There has been a very strange reaction to this. The fact that this continues to remain a touchy issue was very clear with the kind of protests that erupted in Assam after the bill was passed. However, the Congress failed to use even that in a sustained fashion to be able to target the BJP on this. When I traveled to Assam ahead of the 2019 elections, I found that the voter was in fact willing to forget about CAA and vote for Modi. Now, why has this happened? There are two reasons. One, the BJP has successfully changed the narrative from Assamese, indigenous Assamese versus outsider to an Hindu outsider versus Muslim outsider, which suits its own narrative, which is a communal narrative. And two, there has been no effective opposition to take up the matter. As a result of this, the voters willing to forget about the CAA has been willing to forget about the CAA. And given the situation right now, it looks like the CAA is actually no longer such an issue in the voters' mind as it should have been, as it could have been, if the opposition had got its act together. Now, Rahul Gandhi and Gaurav Gogoi have taken this up with a lot of gusto in Assam, which is in a way welcome because someone needed to stand up for the Assamese people. But as I mentioned, too little too late, it could just end up adding to the rhetoric in the election than having any effective or having any concrete impact. For more, you can log on to our website, theprint.in, to read my column Politics.